Biography of World Figures. Harriet Tubman, Slavery Liberator. The United States has experienced a dark period when slavery, which is a legacy of colonialism, still existed in the 18th to 19th centuries. He led hundreds of enslaved people to freedom in the operation of the Underground Railroad, the American Underground Movement Association that since 1830 has helped many people escape slavery. Early life. Harriet Tubman was born Araminta Ross in 1820, in Maryland. Then she adopted her mother's first name, Harriet. From birth, Harriet's fate seemed to have been determined, namely to become a slave. She worked as a maid, nurse, cook, and woodcutter. In 1844, she married John Tubman, a free black citizen. 5 years later, rumors of a possible sale due to his employer's death prompted him to flee to Philadelphia, leaving everything he had behind. Harriet traveled nearly 144 kilometers to Philadelphia. After living in Philadelphia, Harriet actually thought she wanted to save her entire family and people living in slavery through the Underground Railroad. In December 1850, in Harriet's first journey to help liberate her family and 60 others to freedom, she earned the nickname Moses. Meanwhile, her husband refused to follow them on the Underground Railroad, preferring to live in Maryland with his new wife. However, the fate of slaves was again under pressure through the issuance of the Runaway Slave Act in 1850. Law enforcement officials in the North were forced to help capture slaves. Harriet wasn't at her wits' end. He remapped the Underground Railroad to Canada. While the U.S. was in the midst of the Civil War, Harriet's resistance to slavery did not subside. For 3 years, he cared for the sick and in Florida and the Carolinas, both white and black people, soldiers, and contraband. And she also acts as a scout for the Union government. That way he managed to reach the rebel territory. He became a valuable spy under the command of Colonel James Montgomery. To lead the Black Corps, Harriet also led the way on her famous expedition on the Combahee River in June 1863. She directed troops on the Combahee River, where more than 700 slaves were freed in the South Carolina Diary. For all his hard work, he was paid $200 over a 3-year period, but he still had to support himself by selling cakes, gingerbread, and beer. In 1869, Harriet married a Civil War veteran named Nelson Davis, and in 1874, the couple adopted a baby girl named Gertie. Surrounded by friends and family, Harriet died of pneumonia on March 10, 1913 at the age of 93. He was buried with military honors at Fort Hill Cemetery, Auburn. Harriet Tubman is revered as an American icon and has inspired young people who are fighting for civil rights with courage and action. Dozens of schools are named after him, while his home in Auburn and a museum in Cambridge are monuments to his service.